Okay?
And that's fine.
And that is going to be done. Take it to him.
My point is just, if anybody has any questions, I'd be glad to talk to you after this meeting or any time to answer them. What I would like to say is that the reason this courthouse program exists is because of just what we're sitting in here today. In the 1990s, we had courthouses. We had one burned down in Hill County, Hillsborough, Texas. We had another catch fire in East Texas. We had structural problems. We had collapses. We had a big chunk of plaster fall on a county judge's desk in another county. And the state decided, because counties are political subdivisions of the state. You're not independent government. You're political subdivisions of the state of Texas. It was decided that the state of Texas needed to play a role in helping preserve these historic landmarks. And this program was created under former Governor Bush. And it was one of his great legacies to create this program. We have $227 million appropriated through the years. Many of those were good years for the state. Some were a little bad, like in the 2002 and 3 session. But we've always had funds appropriated, and we've given those out to what we thought were the most needy courthouses. Your courthouse qualified because of its endangered status. We had some counties qualify because of their age or historical significance, architectural integrity, like Goliad and Beeville and others that were mentioned. But this courthouse qualified because we thought it was highly endangered. And if you look at it, I think you would agree. There are lots of endangered situations. There's dead-end corridors that are unsafe in fire conditions. There's steps that are settled. There's probably all kinds of asbestos and things in this building. There's lots of issues that need to be addressed here for your worker safety and for the conduct of public government here. Now to address some specific issues about the grants and what y'all are in. The money for this current phase of work, phase 1, as Louis referred to, is bond money that the state of Texas has already issued. Those funds will not be recaptured. They're available to you to use. In fact, there is a signed contract between the state of Texas and Karnes County that work will be done. It's up to y'all as Commissioners Court to decide if you're going to cancel the signed contract with the contractor that's already bid this project in its own budget to be done. Y'all can decide to cancel that if you wish to. We are not interested in canceling our contract with Karnes County from the state of Texas to give this money to y'all to do the work on this building. So if that needs to happen, that will be a lengthy discussion between the Attorney General's office and y'all's attorneys in the county and the state as to whether or not that contract should be canceled or not. It's signed, it's been signed for nearly a year, and we expect that to be fulfilled. It's up to y'all to decide which contractor to use, but you've got one under contract that's under budget. So with that, the future phases, beyond that, that's just the first phase. There's other things that need to be done here. But this building will be occupiable after this first phase is done. You can continue to have people in it and continue to function. I would hope that you would move as quickly as possible to fixing a lot of these deficiencies, but it could be occupied. And you could apply for additional grants from us. And it's true. I don't know if we'll have sufficient grant money to give you grant money in the future rounds or not. I know the next 2 years are going to be very difficult for all state government agencies. So wrap up.
I gave him that time back. Yes.
Yes, I'm the director of the courthouse program.
Ms. Stinson, that's going to be on another agenda item because it's not on the agenda today and we can't.
No, it is. I would like for him to address it. He said ask questions and I would like for him to, whatever one here, I'd like for him to address this particular one. In the following year, the former county judge signed over this whole block to the Historical Commission.
Ms. Stinson, we can't. I'm sorry, but they're going to come. We can't because listen, Sharon Fleming is going to come down, okay, and that's going to put that on the agenda item. And I ask you to please come when she comes and ask all these questions. It's going to be open where she can talk back to you and where everybody can hear the same thing.
No, I just wanted the audience to hear. The judge said he didn't know what all that meant, and so I was wondering if he would tell us what all of that means.
No, but that's what I'm saying. We're not. We can't do it. What we're going to do, though, what we can do is Mrs. Fleming asked to be on the agenda because what I would like is for instead of everybody giving me, oh, I called and I got this, Mrs. Fleming says that she will come down and she will do that. Okay. And actually, Mrs. Fleming was going to be here tonight, and I'm the one that asked her not to be here tonight because she said that she had the flu. And it was reported to me that she had the flu, and I didn't think it was best for us all to be closed up in a room with her. So you're not fixing it.
Okay, look, will it be so that
as long as it's on an agenda item?
I mean, taxpayers.
As long as it's on the agenda item, we can address it, Ms. Stinson. We just can't step out of those bounds. I'm sorry.
Well,
I apologize.
how will we get it out to our taxpayers?
If we can move it to a different, I don't know about the times, if it's set at night, I will ask Mr. Busselman if we can change it from a 9 a.m. I don't know the legalities to that because I know it's legally set. I don't know how we have to go about moving that, but yes, I will. I will try to move it if we can.
Okay.
I promise you that. I'm sorry.
Well, I know it's something
I'm
we
sorry,
need to
Ms.
know.
Dixon. I apologize.
I'll be glad to talk to you after this meeting. I think you're referring to there's an easement, a preservation easement that the county has with the state.
Again, we're not going to go into that right now because that's not on the agenda, and that can take place outside of the courthouse.
Thank you.
Maggie?
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Judge and Court. Very, very pleased to see everybody this evening. My name is Maggie Hunt, and I'm working with the Karnes County Historical Commission. I just wanted to briefly state, someone had said that there were not any immediate windfalls showing from the Eagleford Shale. To December 9, the quarterly monies that came in 09 to the county was about $53,000, and my understanding is the end quarter of December 10, 2010 was over $200,000. So I do think some of that money is coming back now. In my hand, there are a stack of minutes from Commissioners Court from January 2007 until the end of 2010, December 2010. These reflect, I used my Public Information Act privileges as a citizen, and every single one of these is earmarked because they are concerning, they reflect all action votes, including the county offices on the square, hiring of architects for the courthouse plan, and the county attorney's review of all of the contracts, including why we have been asked to meet today with the Boyle Company, who is the general contractor that was signed into contract. Every single one of these went through our county attorney's review and were voted with an aye vote, except on 2 occasions. Mr. Rosales was the only one that voted against. Now, that was in 2010. But from 2007, 37 votes in open court, 2 meetings a month. We discussed renovation of this courthouse. And phase 1 is not renovating the entire thing. It will be turnkey, ready to work inside. We won't be ready until the state's ready to give more money. It'll take a while to take care of phase 1. The money is there. We have gotten it from the commission. We worked hard. Judge Pavelic, Judge Conhoff, and Judge Kendall. 3 courts have worked toward getting this courthouse redone. We're going to start with phase 1. It'll be turnkey. It'll be pretty. It'll be safe. And it'll be stabilized. Thank you very much.
Before we move forward, I want to clarify something before it gets misconstrued here. When I say that Ms. Fleming is coming down, she was going to use the 3 minutes tonight that Mr. Graves used. She did not understand how to go about being put on the agenda, so we clarified that today for her to be put on the agenda to be able to do a question and answer session with y'all. I don't want to get misquoted in saying that we did not allow Sharon here tonight. Mr. Graves took her place for the 3 minutes that she was going to use tonight, and then she added herself to the agenda, and we're going to do that on the 28th. So I don't want to confuse anybody by saying that that was going to happen tonight and did not happen. That definitely was not the case. So we added it on to the 28th, just for more clarification. Mr. Wodarski.
Well, I'm not used to speaking very much, but I've lived in Karnes County about 5 years now, and I took it upon myself to go out and poll the county. I went to Hobson, I went to Karnes City, I went to Kennedy, I went to Runge. I didn't make it to Helen because we had a meeting. But I'm going to give you a summary of the votes that I took and how it turned out. On the restore, there were 67 people said to restore it. Out of those 67 people, there was 41 that says only if there was a grant. And then there was 68 people says repair it. And then we got down to start new. And this is what really surprised me. It come out with 112 people that want to tear down the courthouse and start a new building. And then the others that said they didn't give a damn was 28. And then there was 140 people out of these people that I surveyed said that they would like to have an opportunity to vote one way or another how the building would be, what would be done. And that would give the voters an opportunity. And I did mention the grant, and there was a guy from Hobson says that if there's any grant money out there, he needed a new well. And that's it.
Thanks, Mr. Woodard. Sue Butler Porter. Hold on, are we changing the tape? Is that our tape or is that whose tape? Are we good on record?
We don't have a record.
Oh, you're doing it, Clyde? Are you ready? I'm sorry, I apologize. Go ahead, Sue.
Okay, thank you, Judge, Commissioners. I am glad actually to be here this evening to talk a little bit about some of the things I have heard and share some ideas that I have. Talk a little bit louder. One thing, I think our county can work on more than one thing at a time. I have certainly never meant or implied that I think that restoration of the courthouse is more important than safety. Goodness knows. But I do think that we have the capability to work on more than one thing at a time. And we can address the safety issues and the roads and the courthouse. We just don't have the luxury of saying, well, we're going to do just one thing. And that has never, ever been the plan or thought of the Historical Society or of myself. So in a lot of my conversations and tonight, we hear something, about the